I'm not sure if you've been jumping ahead of me with this course, but if you have, I expect that you've discovered something that initially frustrates many Vegas users. I'm talking about moving, or to be more accurate, repositioning events so that one event exactly substitutes its position and timeline footprint with another event, possibly adjacent to it, or possibly further down the timeline. And so, if you have been wondering how to do this, you might have become frustrated because Vegas might appear to confound you in that it doesn't initially seem possible, in that ostensibly one of the tricky things to achieve when you want to reorder events on the timeline is to get the desired event to a new position exactly. It initially seems that if you attempt to move an event to a different position to its own, that at present is occupied by another event, then things don't go as planned. I'll give you an example. Here, you'll see we have the 3 events of Josh's band on our timeline that we've seen a few times lately. Well, at this point, this might be exactly the order in which you want these individual clips or individual events to play back. However, they might not be, and you decide that you want to move event 2 to where event 1 is located. Whilst I'm doing this, do notice that the duration for each event is different to the others. Well, I suppose at this point, you'd imagine initially it would be a straightforward matter of left-clicking on the desired event, in our case event 2 here, and dragging it to the position you want to move it to. However, notice what happens when I do try to do this. By left-clicking and dragging this event to the left to reposition with event 1, as you can see now, we start to generate the crossfade operation that we have seen recently over the last few tutorials. And of course, this is not what we are trying to achieve at this point. Therefore, we need a different method of shuffling our events on the timeline, and that's what we're going to look at now, shuffling events. Otherwise, we'd only end up having to delete everything we've done so far from the timeline and subsequently reorder the events in the new or correct sequence. And of course, that frustrates us because it's neither quick nor practical. Now, I wouldn't be telling you all this, would I, if there weren't a practical or easy solution? And of course, there is an easy solution. So now I'll hit Ctrl+Z on my keyboard as the shortcut to revert back to where we were before creating this undesired crossfade. So, let me show you the easy and elegant solution to be able to shuffle events so that they swap their sequential order on the timeline. It's actually very easy, but will involve you remembering a simple keystroke. All you need to do is right-click initially on the relevant event that you want to move or relocate or swap with another event, but then, and this is the bit you do need to remember, you still need to hold down the right mouse button without declicking it. So, right-click on your desired event, and whilst you're doing that, holding it down, drag it over the event you want to substitute its position with, and in our example here, it's this one. So, drag over to the desired event position, and now you will see this newly emerged pop-up menu, and from the pop-up menu options, choose Shuffle Events. And so now, quite simply, as you can see there, our event has swapped places with the other event, or, in other words, they have shuffled their order. I'll do that again, but this time suppose I want to move this event at the end to the start. So once again, I'll right-click on the event, whilst remembering to hold the right mouse button down, and then drag over event number 1. And once this pop-up emerges again, I'll choose Shuffle Events once more. So, as you can see, this is a great way to be able to move events around to new positions without the discomfort of having to go through it all again, reordering and redragging things onto the timeline. Okay, so that's shuffling events. It's very easy and very quick, so long as we remember those keystrokes.